The 2025 Lexus RC. Well, this is it. This is the final model year for this coupe. And after a decade of being on the market and having sold a combined 90,000 units across 62 countries and regions, the regular Lexus RC and the RCF will officially be discontinued at the end of this year. And for this final model year, we do have some minor changes. For instance, we have the addition of red brake calipers for the RC F Sport rear-wheel drive models, and the RCF adopts specially assembled engine and rear differential. We also see the price go up by $525 for all the trim levels. And regarding the RCF, it's only going to be available as a mono-spec special edition. And I'll be sure to go through the details here in a moment regarding the RCF, because sadly, it is a bit disappointing with the route that they have taken with their top shelf, high performance RCF. Regardless of that, let's go through the regular RC line first. As mentioned before, the price has gone up by $525 compared to last year, but you still have the same drivetrains. So we have the RC300 rear-wheel drive models, which still come with the 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engine with 241 horsepower and 258 pounds-feet of torque. As always, I've told most people to just steer clear of the turbo 4-cylinder engine. Of course, the owners that already bought into this engine say that they love it and that it's great. God bless. If you already own one and you like it, good for you. But those that are new to the Lexus lineup, I just want you to be aware that the naturally aspirated V6 and the NA V8, it's these two engines that set this brand apart, and that's really where you get your money's worth. And you are able to get the naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6 when you get the RC300 all-wheel drive model. It comes with a 6-speed automatic transmission, and in this application, it produces 260 horsepower and 236 pounds-feet of torque. Once again, I still do not recommend going with the RC300 all-wheel drive. Why is that? Because you can just get the 350 model for not that much more money. Plus, you'll most likely have better residuals after a couple of years because the RC350 is just more sought after. So with the 350, you have the rear-wheel drive, and you can also get the all-wheel drive RC350. And now the 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6 produces 311 horsepower and 280 pounds-feet of torque. The F Sport model would also be worth getting with the RC350. The rear-wheel drive F Sport, it comes with an available Torsen limited slip differential. I would definitely try to get that. And Lexus claims that the 350, it can do 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds with the rear-wheel drive and 6 seconds flat with the all-wheel drive RC350. And the only change for 2025 is the red brake calipers on the F Sport rear-wheel drive models. V6 is great. It's got a nice sonorous tone to it. I love the induction noise that the NA V6 produces. One of the most special engines for sure. Now let's talk about what they've done with the RCF. So this is the final model year. I figured that Lexus would go out with a bang with the RCF, but they totally didn't do that. They say that the RCF arrives in 2025 as a mono-spec special edition, and it's going to build off of last year's carbon package. We still have here the 5-liter naturally aspirated V8 producing 472 horsepower. And because this 2025 special edition is building off of last year's carbon package, we have standard F-tuned adaptive variable suspension with 19-inch BBS lightweight forged aluminum wheels with the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. Again, those forged BBS wheels, they were bespoke to the carbon package 2024 models, but now we have that here with this 2025 final special edition. And we also get 6-piston Brembo brakes in the front and 4-piston Brembo brakes in the rear. Also for this final edition, Lexus claims that the naturally aspirated 5-liter V8, the 2UR GSE motor, it's been further refined to deliver a smooth revving feel and exhilarating engine sound. Lexus also claims that the rear differential is handcrafted by skilled technicians who adjusted the backlash to improve acceleration and deceleration responses. And Lexus claims that the RCF can do 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. I'll talk more about that 0 to 60 number in a moment, but the 2025 RCF Final Edition will be available in 4 exterior colors: Incognito, Radiant Red, Sonic Iridium, and Ultra White. As standard for this final edition, you will be getting the triple beam LED headlamps. That's something that you had to pay extra for with the 2024 carbon models of the RCF. So we get that here as standard. And of course we get the carbon fiber roof, along with the carbon side rocker panels, front spoiler, and the carbon rear diffuser. You will also be getting black automatic electric folding door mirrors, and we have the adjustable spoiler in the back. Regarding the interior space of the RCF Final Edition, it's going to come with bespoke black and red leather / ultra suede trimmed interior, and it will come standard with the Mark Levinson audio system, which is great. The Mark Levinson, one of the best audio systems you can get, and it's got the 10.3-inch infotainment touchscreen. And we have in carbon fiber the Final Edition emblems in the front console to signify each car's production number on its limited run. RCF still has the 8-speed automatic transmission, and it's got a top speed of 168 miles per hour. These RC vehicles, they come with the Lexus Safety System 2.5 Plus, so it's not the latest Lexus safety tech, but still fine, still works good. And get this, we have the official pricing here, and I'm sure I've already shown it to you on the screen, and all of these 2025 prices include the destination charge of $1,175, but the RCF Final Edition is going to set you back $94,000. That is absolutely absurd. And the reason why I'm so disappointed with this Final Edition RCF is because before they had really cool RCF models like the Track Edition, the Fuji Sport models with the massive spoiler in the back. Those were some really cool RCFs. Granted, even with the Track Edition, I didn't think it was worth its price. I always thought that if you're going to pay 6 figures for a Lexus coupe, you got to spend that money on the Lexus LC 500. The LC is genuinely worth the 6-figure price tag. It truly has a special driving quality. This RCF IS 500 type of cars, all these vehicles, this driving quality is worth tops like 50-60 G's, and the IS 500 is priced correctly. I'll get to that in a moment. But okay, regardless of what I think is worth it and what's not, the point is the Track Edition was cool. It looked epic. I love the massive spoiler in the back. I love the wheels. I like the carbon fiber hood. It looked the part. It looked like a 6-figure vehicle, and it had the lowest 0 to 60 time of 3.96 seconds. You can actually still see the 2024 RCF models on the Lexus website as of January 16th, 2025. And for the Final Edition, Lexus has gotten rid of the Track Edition models, and we just have a regular 4.2 second RCF building upon last year's Carbon Edition, which you can still build the 2024 RCF. And when you select the carbon package, which was like a $17,000 option, it comes with, you know, the BBS wheels, the carbon splitters, and all that good stuff. But of course, for 2025, Lexus is including the ML audio system and the triple beam LED headlamps as standard. Well, in 2024, you had to select them as options, so I did. And the price came out to be $90,610. I did not add any additional accessories, although I did just include the $130 all-weather package. I just thought, why not? Basically, for 2025, they're just charging us like $4,000 more for last year's carbon package RCF. That's effectively all they've really done. Sure, they've made some subtle tweaks and improvements to the engine and the rear differential, but I mean, come on, seriously? Like, I thought maybe they would just give us the Track Edition with slightly more horsepower. That would have been fine, but no. And paying $94,000 for a regular RCF is absurd, because if you were someone that was serious about getting the RCF, you would of course skip the carbon package and you would just get the premium package, which was a little over 6G, and that package pretty much gave you everything that you practically needed to give you that fully loaded experience. And then you just had to add in the ML audio, the triple beam headlights, and you were good to go. And you were at about $79,000 to $80,000. 80 G's. That's what a regular RCF was practically worth. I mean, it's not even worth 80 grand. I still thought that the RCF was, of course, overpriced for 80 grand brand new, especially since the discounts on these things, that's a bit ambiguous. I'm not sure how much money people are getting off on the new RCFs, but when the IS500 Lexus exists fully loaded for about 67 grand, I mean, there is no way I could practically recommend the RCF to people. Sure, people bend themselves into a pretzel trying to justify, you know, the transmission coolers on the full F cars and how they were actually track capable and all of these things. But sadly, there are two terms that the automotive community simply doesn't acknowledge, and that is one, diminishing returns, and two, opportunity costs. You bring up both of these terms, people act like you're speaking another language. But for this coupe styling, you're paying a lot of money and you're getting a lot of diminishing returns. That's just the harsh truth. So I'm just trying to watch out for your pocketbooks, and I'm just trying to show you what the best value proposition is in this hyper overinflated market. Not everybody gets an opportunity to drive all of these vehicles the same way I do, because I'm in this profession. I test drive vehicles and I'm able to compare it with other sports cars, and I can just tell you, paying 80 grand, six figures for these F cars, it's simply not worth that much money. Paying 67 grand and potentially getting 4 or 5 grand off the MSRP of an IS500 F Sport fully loaded, now that is worth it. And yeah, a lot of people were able to get 4 to 5 grand off the MSRP of a new IS500 F Sport. Not too long ago, people were going nuts for Charger and Challenger Scat Packs, and those products, those Stellantis vehicles, fully loaded, were going for about 60 grand as well. Here we have an IS500 Lexus, which is a quality brand, quality craftsmanship, and some of the best dealer support. Granted, a smaller car, but whatever, you get the point. You're getting an NA V8 with 470-ish horsepower in the low $60,000 range with discounts. IS500 F Sport Performance, one of the best new value propositions for sure. But what to make of this final model year of the RC? I mean, despite everything I've said, there's still a lot of people that are in love with this body style, and I don't blame them. This is a hot looking coupe for sure. After 10 years on the market with a subtle refresh in 2019, I mean, this vehicle still looks epic. It's like a proper JDM car, and I'm surprised more people don't like to, you know, customize it and go crazy with it. There's obviously a few people that do that, of course. There's a community for it, but I'm just saying it's not as mainstream as I thought it would be, because so many people are Toyota Supra haters because that's based off of a BMW. Well, this RCF, I mean, this is all Lexus. I mean, this is a true Japanese performance car, and it's going away. And it's not just this, the IS is gonna go away soon as well. Same thing with the LC, I'm sure of it. So if you just like this body style and you want this stuff that's made in Japan, and you want these naturally aspirated engines, and you have the money and the disposable income, I guess screw it, go for it. Definitely try to negotiate though, try to get something off of the MSRP. Don't try to overpay for it, because this stuff is already overpriced as it is. These are not hot selling vehicles, and Lexus just keeps ramping up the price. Why? Because this is a very niche product, and since they're not selling that many units of these anyway, they figured the few people that do want it, they're just gonna tax them like crazy and charge crazy amounts. So makes sense. At the end of the day, most people, they're just going to go get a BMW M340i, which will pretty much annihilate every performance Lexus car on paper. But people, and myself included, they love the Lexus performance cars because of the soul, the character, and the satisfying street performance that these vehicles have to offer. I still love driving the Lexus performance vehicles. The ride quality is so sublime. The engines are great. I love the control. You can slide these things, you can bring them back, and it's easy to do so. These are predictable and communicative performance cars. And not to mention the people who blindly chase after the specs and the on-paper performance, well, sure, they might go after things like the BMW M cars and the pseudo M vehicles, but they will quickly realize that those vehicles, they typically come with a back-shattering ride, and the steering is so numb and so artificial. I mean, it feels almost identical to like a $300 Logitech sim racing wheel. I'm not even exaggerating about that. In fact, there are some direct drive sim racing wheels that offer more feedback and more of a natural, steering feel than a real BMW M car. It is crazy. And Lexus, they reward you with an organic and natural feeling driving experience. You feel very connected, and it's just perfectly tuned for the streets. Again, that's why I'm a big fan of the IS, because it's just like the RC, but with 4 doors and a lot less money and pretty much the exact same driving feel. So that comes in at a great price point. And then you can pay extra for the LC to double down and to get an even superior on-road driving feel and feedback. Not to mention, as far as coupes go, the RC is surprisingly practical. You have a decent sized trunk, and I'm 5'11", and I can kind of sort of fit behind myself in the rear seats. I mean, I do sit closer to the steering wheel than most people my size, but whatever. It's still impressive that I can somewhat comfortably fit in the rear seats of the RCF. So if you're married to the coupe body style, then the RC will surprise you. It's a rather practical package. If you want value in the Lexus lineup, you stick with the IS350F Sports and the IS500s. If you want something truly special, you'll try to negotiate something on the LC500. But if you just happen to love this RC body style, go for it. This stuff is going away, but I am disappointed with what they've done with this final edition for sure. But that's everything you need to know. Comment below, let me know your thoughts regarding the final model year of the Lexus RC. Are you an owner? How's it been holding up for you? Do you agree with what I had to say? But thank you again for watching. Take care and goodbye.